Is high-speed rail coming to Canada? In February 2025, the federal government announced the development of the Toronto-Quebec high-speed rail network. This is one of the largest infrastructure projects in Canada today. It will be co-led by the newly created Crown Corporation Alto in conjunction with Cadence, a consortium of private sector companies. The Alto high-speed rail network is intended to comprise 1,000 kilometers of dedicated electrified tracks with stops in at least 7 cities between Toronto and Quebec City. 44% of the Canadian population resides in this corridor. In December 2025, the Ottawa-Montreal segment was chosen to be built first due to its relative technical simplicity. With average speeds of around 300 kilometers per hour, the new network promises to reduce current travel times between the selected cities by half of what it takes today via conventional passenger rail. Alto has also said that trains will depart at a frequency of 30 minutes, with as many as 25 trains traveling round trip per day. Aside from reducing travel times, Alto boasts many benefits to the project. These include job creation, economic growth, safety benefits, lower GHG emissions, tourism revenue, and decongestion benefits. However, much of the project remains unknown. Alto is currently in the pre-construction phase. Specifics on the exact corridor will only be released in the fall of 2026, and construction on the initial segment is slated to begin in 2029 or 2030. At this time, the total project cost is estimated between $60 and $90 billion. Critics note that this price tag could be a challenge. For example, Alto's early proposal to dig a new tunnel under the river in Mount Royal in Montreal would be an expensive technical feat. For comparison, Montreal's Blue Line extension cost $1 billion per kilometer. Cost overruns or lower than expected revenues could lead to the abandonment of sections of the project or decreases in the quality of the service offered. In the UK, the cancellation of the second phase of HS2 due to cost overruns weakened the project's overall success and cost-benefit analysis. In Taiwan, actual ridership for new high-speed rail fell short of projections, causing financial strain and early service reductions, damaging the service's reputation and utility. Canada must be careful not to fall into a vicious cycle of poor ridership and underfunding if expectations are not initially met. A report from Transportation Research at McGill estimates that, assuming an $80 billion price tag, Alto will take up to 48 years to become self-sustaining. While higher speeds are great for shortening travel times, service frequency is equally important for reducing wait times and enhancing convenience. In conjunction with competitive pricing and well-thought-out station locations, these would make high-speed rail an attractive option for riders. Land value capture and profit-making from real estate activities around stations can also be an important strategy for boosting financial viability. Finally, this project raises some equity concerns. Controversial proposed changes to the Expropriation Act would make it easier for the government to acquire land for the railway. Moreover, while Alto promises to foster meaningful engagement with the many Indigenous peoples whose lands the project runs through, this type of nation-building project in Canada has historically come at the detriment of Canada's minority groups, especially its Indigenous peoples. Consideration for people in cities located near the selected route, including those who may not benefit from a nearby station, should be a priority for ensuring the government upholds its fiduciary duty to Canadians and doesn't deepen spatial inequalities. With public consultations beginning and a detailed corridor to be announced, 2026 will be an important year for Alto and high-speed rail in Canada. Let's hope it finally brings the country into the 21st century of public transit.